Hello, this video is to prepare you for Unit 5, Session 5, so Lesson 5.5, Lab Number 1, Competing for Resources. Right here, let me go through the procedure of what you'll be doing. Clicking on this, I'm going to follow the link. This has been published for you to see. It's actually through our own textbook publisher. Many of the other labs, they're just stuff that's available on the internet. But this one in particular, I had to give you, the student, access to it because it is through our textbook publisher. So it's one of these resources that need to be provided. Anyways, I'm going on too long. I'm going to follow that link. So here's the document you'll use. The first thing you'll notice here is there's another link in that document, and this is what's going to take you to that virtual lab that you've been given access to that's from the textbook that you use. If you were to navigate through the textbook on the website, you'd find this lab in the Chapter 5 resources. One thing that I like to do often when I'm working on a virtual lab, I'll split my screen, and I'll do that by reducing the size of a window, and then I'm going to drag one of these tabs over to the other side of my screen. Now that gives me the advantage of being able to look at the document and type things up as I'm also simultaneously viewing the experiment on the other part of my screen. All right, so let's start going through this. Pythons in the Everglades, the big question. What is an effect of the introduced Burmese python on the Everglades ecosystem? All right, so parts 1 through 3. I'm going to read these instructions here in the document. It's going to direct us through it, and then we'll have to follow those instructions on the virtual lab. It starts off by saying, you will release and monitor radio-collared marsh rabbits in 2 different study areas located in South Florida, the Fakahatchee Strand and Everglades National Park. When you have finished releasing your rabbits, save a copy of your map. Insert an image of your map below, or print the image and attach it to this worksheet. So you can take a shot of that and paste that in there. That'd be the best way for you to do that. So I'm going to have to reread that myself, just silently. I didn't process it as well when I was reading it off to you. So let's see. When you finished releasing your rabbits. Okay, so I guess I got to go to the investigation on the virtual lab. Not a bad idea to just glance at this first and get some more background information. That's what I'd suggest. I'm not going to go through the entire process with you myself, but I'm just kind of setting the tone for what I'd like you to do to complete this lab. Before I'd go on, I'd read what's on this page, get the background information. Then, probably best that I also know what the intended learning outcomes are. I'm going to read that. Again, this is not necessarily me actually doing all the things. I'm just making it clear to you what the expectations are. You'll want to familiarize yourself with those learning outcomes. And then go on to the investigation. And this is where you're actually going to be carrying out those instructions. So read carefully so you can always know what you're being instructed to do. And then follow those instructions and then report your results by either typing in text as a response to the questions in the document, or perhaps in other cases it'll be a copy and paste of a picture. Other times it's other tasks like, for example, filling out this table by going through that procedure, setting up that situation, and then recording the information that you can see as a result. There are a total of 6 questions there, and then the analyze and conclude questions will be answered once you're done navigating through the simulation. You'll kind of reflect on that, and you'll analyze what you observed, and you'll draw conclusions from your experience with this virtual lab. So I hope that makes it pretty explanatory of how you're going to go through this procedure. I may not have given you precise information like what the answers are, because, well, then it wouldn't be an assignment, now would it? It'll be up to you to carry on from here and follow the instructions, answer all these parts, copying and pasting oftentimes the evidence of what you were witnessing, and I think that'll do it. So, as usual, please give me an email if you have any questions about this. I hope it's all making sense, and we'll meet again in our next virtual lesson.